Hey everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Well, it's another morning here, a little overcast and cloudy, expecting some more of that wonderful rain hopefully today. Don't even mind driving in it. We've got a long trip, about 3.5 hours, but today's the day. We're gonna head up and get our new treasure. Gotta go all the way to Bristol, Tennessee, so we'll go up through the mountains of North Carolina, through Boone. I'm going kind of the longer way around just to stay off of Fancy Gap. Any guys that know much about North Carolina, gonna go up 421, like I said, all the way through Boone and up that way and catch 81. So bring along as much as I can. Everybody's gonna go with me, thank goodness, in case you have any issues. But hopefully everything goes well, so stay tuned. Double it. Well, we're in Damascus, Virginia, or Tennessee, I don't even know. We ended up in Virginia, Bristol, Virginia, not Bristol, Tennessee, which he said just over the mountains was Tennessee. But anyway, stop to get some fuel, tell you more about it when we get home. Well, here it is in all its glory. We'll go over it more on another day. I'm running a little bit behind. Get home, get a shower, and go get something to eat. But I already got a little bit of indecisiveness because it's supposed to be a C, and we've got a water pump on it. So I'm not sure if the motor's been changed, because my understanding, band brakes and straight arms were C stuff, not Super C. So I'm thinking maybe the motor's been changed, because we've got this auxiliary hydraulic here valve, like would have been for a fast hitch off of a Super C. So I'm not going to complain, not for what I've got in it. But we'll get more details on it. It's in the shop here, do a little tinkering with it here or there. Like I said, we don't need this unit anymore for quite a while, but we'll go over more of the whys and the whats and my crazy thought process anyway, so stay tuned, guys. Well, we're back. It's a hot, humid, blistering day here, Monday, July 22nd. Now actually the temperature is down in the 80s, but man, the humidity went through the roof. We're finally getting some rain. I just wrote it down. July 17th here at the farm through today, the 22nd, we've had 2.5 inches of rain, and they're actually calling for a lot more this week. So definitely blessings. Hope the others around me are getting some as well. The corn has perked up a little bit, but I think most of it is too far gone to do any good. The new stuff over there, the last planted, I might go down and get a clip of on this video or the next one. It might actually survive, do a little bit better than the rest of it, but we'll see. So let me show you a couple things right quick that I didn't get to the other day when we got back, and we'll get started on the next project. Well, I didn't show you guys this the other day. When I pulled in the driveway up there, I had a couple of issues right off the bat, and then we had some issues loading the tractor, which you saw a little bit of that. I'll explain more in a few minutes. But while we were loading, he asked if I knew anybody that needed a category 3 quick hitch. Well, of course, that's what the 1083 is. I was looking for one hot and heavy back when I had the 3-point chisel plow, and then, you know, the moldboard plow, of course, hooking it up. But kind of got away from that. But he priced it. It was cheap enough. Pennies on the dollar guy like me. It's not the most heavy duty one in the world, but I think it'll do. If nothing else, it'll keep my arms from swinging around. It'll be a place for me to wrap a chain and tie some hydraulic lines up. So got that. Let me take you back here to the back of the trailer and show you something else. So a quick history lesson right quick. The ramp on the right was built 30 plus years ago by a gentleman my dad knew back when we first got the 24-foot gooseneck we used to have when we were showing tractors and tractor pulling. We sold the trailer. We sold 2 of the ramps with it. This one had gotten misplaced. I told him if I ran across it, you know, I would give it to him. Well, it was like 10 years later before I ran across it up here under a bunch of debris here at the farm. Number had been disconnected. I had no way to get back in touch with him, so we kept it. Well, when I built this trailer, actually when I first got it and did the hitch rebuild up there, we needed to go get the F700, so we scrambled around, found the pieces, and built the second one here you see, and just added a couple pieces of angle back here quickly so we could go get that truck. We didn't go all the way across. Well, I failed to remember that. Not a big deal, just lay the ramp up there. Well, the one in the middle is one of the ones off of the big trailer that we just built, and actually being 10 foot long with my deck height on the trailer, it was more of a problem than it was worse for that small of a tractor, and I'll explain that when we get down in the shop. But I've got to go in here and extend that piece of angle across, but I think you saw it on the video. When we were going up, it locks down. Basically a bolt on the drawbar gets hung in the ramp, and then once we get that situated and get up on the trailer, then it kicks the ramp out, which is not a big deal. I mean, it's going to do that, but like I said, I'm glad that I took 3, because, you know, even with a winch you can go on the side and load tricycle with 2 ramps. But it would have been kind of a pain where it was located. So let me get out of the sun for a minute, get down here in the shop, and we'll tell you a little bit more. Well, bear with me for a few minutes, guys. Let me bring you up to speed on the trip itself, and then we'll turn around here and tell you a couple more things about the tractor, and then I got to get to work on the truck. Yeah, what have I got to do to the truck? I got to put a power steering pump on it. 180 miles from the house, get there to pick the tractor up, turn in his driveway, hard 180 back up the side of a mountain basically, and the power steering goes out. I was just about to come unglued, so I didn't get you a whole lot of footage because I was pretty aggravated, that and then the ramp deal and everything else. Have no idea what happened. I mean, I put that pump on there a little over a year ago. I called the box store here local. Of course, it's lifetime warranty, but that is one of the most aggravating jobs there is, and I certainly did not want to do that on the side of the road. So thank goodness I was able to manhandle it back down the mountain and get us home. Never did lock up, didn't get hot. I mean, I felt that when we got here as cool as a cucumber, so I guess it just quit pumping for whatever reason. So we got to do that. So clean the shop up a little bit today, rolled it back, rolled the tractor back here, so I'm gonna try to get the truck in case it comes to shower or rain, get it pulled off, get that exchanged at the box store tomorrow and go from there. So I might get a few clips of that. But I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the tractor. So you know, the ramp situation, when we were up there, you saw that when it kicked it out. That's not a big deal. We got here, got ready to unload it, and we both forgot about the bolt in the same bolt that got hung on the ramp up there. We chained the ramp better to where it wouldn't kick off because we're, you know, coming back over it this time instead of going up. But needless to say, we rolled it off. The drawbar crammed itself in between the ramp skids, so there we were in pouring down rain. But you know what? If that's what brings on the rain here in North Carolina, like I said earlier, then so be it, because we sure needed it. Let me tell you about the tractor and why. Well, you're probably asking yourself why. Well, first and foremost, because I've always wanted one. Second reason, because my grandson is getting older and hopefully he'll still enjoy the tractors, and this might end up at the Southeast Old Thrasher Union one day with a little bit better paint on it for him during the summer. And the third reason being, I think my percentage of corn damage will be a whole lot less going this route than it will be for rear 3-point cultivation. In between the rows, row corn. In between the rows, row corn. In between the rows. And Nelson will be looking forward, so at least I won't be following my hands, which we all know that even looking forward I don't do great with driving straight, but we're going to see. I've got a bead on some side dressing rigs for it. Of course, you've seen the full set of cultivators I got. Tires are basically brand new on the back. They got a couple dry rot spots where they set flat, probably in a barn. But the tires are basically worth what I've got in the tractor. It does run. It's been about a year and a half since it was running. He put a new starter on it, points, wires, plugs, fuel system's got a new carburetor on it, so we'll have to clean all that up. He said he messed with it this summer or this spring and couldn't get it run. I'm sure that the points are dirty. I'll probably end up changing it over to 12 volt, because with a 6 volt system, if they sit for more than about a month and the points get at least a little bit of corrosion on them, they won't fire, because the fire is so weak anyway, the spark rather. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what I'll do with corn next year. Roundup ready corn, conventional, cultivate, no cultivate. But you know what? This is a whole lot more versatile than 2 3-point implements sitting behind the shed back there. And if nothing else, my grandson will have a good time on it. So there'll definitely be some videos on this, guys. Stay tuned if you're interested. We'll get it running, get it going, see what all we can come up with. We'll get the cultivators on it and go from there. I mentioned earlier in the video, I got to run some numbers on the block. I think I showed you, maybe not, maybe I didn't, but it does have a water pump on it, so it doesn't look like that's been added like you could on the 113. So I'm not sure what the deal is here with auxiliary hydraulics over here. I'm thinking that maybe somebody just pulled a motor out of a Super C and put it in this one for whatever reason and went from there. So we're gonna see what happens, but I got to get started on the truck. Well, here it is in all its glory. I need a bigger shop. I'm not gonna bore you guys with putting the power steering pump on. If you've been with me for a while, you've probably seen most of the videos I have on this truck. But if you're new to the channel and you're interested in the mechanical aspect, I basically built this service truck. And this was 2-wheel drive when it started out life, 2000 model. I took a 04 and took all the drivetrain components out and put them under this. Got several videos on it. We did some motor work on the original motor. But anyway, got everything together, swapped everything over, and started using it, and everything was going good. And then it caught on fire, that notorious electrical fire issue that Ford has. So they totaled it out, paid me for it. Like I've said a couple of times, this truck's paid for 2 or 3 times over. And I rebuilt it with a new harness and a couple new parts and pieces, and back on the road we went. So if you're interested in any of that, I'll put a link in the description to that playlist and some of the videos, and might drop a card up here in just a second. But let me show you something else, and we'll probably just get ready to wrap this one up. Well, stay tuned for a video as well on more drive shaft work on the big bush hog. Another one, if you guys have been with me for any length of time, you know that I had issues with that, and this is the last of the 2 shafts that I had built that did not hold up. You can see exactly here what it did to the tubing that he used, and I see now it's just junk. I mean, it's not even, that's the size tubing that you need for the drive shaft, which is what I built the front one out of myself. I'll throw a link to that video up here, a card rather, if you're interested in that. But we're gonna build another one. So I might go down and look at the corn, because it's been a week and a half since I've seen how it looked while I was down there and started and made about 3 rounds before I wrung that drive shaft off. It's weird this time that I don't know what happened, because I'd already loosened the clutch up and I hit dirt one time and it slipped, and I hit something dirt again the second time and it didn't slip that time. So anyway, we'll go look at the corn and then probably just wrap this video up. Well, I know you're not supposed to, but anyway, we're going to show you. Yeah, it's back, power steering. Well, I'm going to enjoy the air conditioning for a few minutes while I wrap this video up. I'm sweaty and nasty and smell like transmission fluid, or LV, Mercon 2500 or whatever it is that goes in these power steering units on these Fords. I knew better than tape that, because I just about lost my religion once again. There's nothing that's not in the way. It's 4 little bolts, 10mm bolts, and a belt and 2 hoses. It is an act of Congress. And I remembered I didn't change this after I got the truck together. I put that new pump on there before I ever put the radiator, fan shroud, all that stuff in there. So yeah, it was even more fun. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. It didn't turn out kind of like exactly like I wanted to, rather. Picking up the Farmall with the issues I had with the truck. I've just decided, I've said it before, but I'm just going to go and break down to it. We're putting the rear end gear in it. I'm going to try a certain gear in the rear end. I've got the other rear end that came out of this truck. I'm going to build it, and put it in here and try it. And if I like the gear ratio, then I'll go ahead and do the front one. If for some reason I don't, then I can always put this rear end back in. I'm going to jump quite a bit to help with the pulling. And didn't go down and look at the corn. I'll get that on another video. Looks like it's going to come up a pretty good thunderstorm. I'm hoping for that. So I figured by the time I get down there walking, it would come up a pouring down rain. But anyway, don't forget to check out farmmerchben.com if you're interested in any of my stuff: hats, shirts, decals, stickers, license plates, koozies, you name it, they've got it. Or if you're just looking for them to do something for you, Nick and Alice are amazing people. They do work for a lot of great channels here on YouTube. Go over there and check them out. Tell them Nelson IP Farms sent you. And we'll see what happens over the next couple days, guys. Got a lot coming down the ladder, so hopefully you enjoy it. Wrench turning time begins. Until next time, thank you.